Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some Defender Td5 content, and with what turbo? Yeah, the Eibach GTB450 Turbo. So this one's come in and had quite the transformation. We'll go through everything that this one's had, but essentially at this moment in time, I always mess up my words. At this moment in time, we are ready for tuning. So let's have a look at the spec and then we'll get on with some mapping. So yeah, here we go. The Eibach GTB450 Turbo. Will it focus? Maybe it will. Yes, it will. Yeah, so the Eibach GTB450 Turbo VNT with boost control, all that stuff that we do. It's all fitted and we're ready for mapping. There's a lot of Eibach brands on there, isn't there? So yeah, using the stock airbox as well. We do have a silicon coupler for those that want those as well, and the reinforced elbow just to stop those from collapsing when you are tuning and you know, pushing either a big turbo or a lot of wind through one of the engines on these Td5. So yeah, we're going to be on with tuning this one now, and sadly this lovely little Td5, it's a lovely little 90, isn't it? It never had a baseline figure. Why? Well, it came into the workshop for some suspension work and it turned into more stuff, and the turbo was fitted before I got to get a baseline for it. So we don't know what it was making before, but we're going to shortly find out what it is making now, and we've that thing there to feature as well very soon. So it's a Tomb Raider 110. Yes, it is, and it's come all the way from Dubai, and I keep showing this now and again. And it's got a GTB450 Turbo that's been fitted on it this week. But I think at some point we might just pop it on the ramp or go for a road test, one of the two, see if I can get Will to drive it for me. So it's a left-hand drive. Really a lot of movement from the suspension on this one when you're driving it along. So, and of course, Martin's Disco 2. So drop a comment below if you want to see a feature on this one. Do you want to know more about this one? He keeps spending lots of money on it. So no front springs and that, you can see. I think the wheels are a recent addition. Let's get some temperature into this 90. As always, using the Eibach power flash to log data, do tuning. So what should we expect from this one? Around 210 horsepower and 450 Newton meters, yes. So a nice Eibach exhaust on there as well, look. So you know whose exhaust system it is. And this one has a rear silencer. Yeah. So a couple of options with our exhaust systems. Rear silencer, mid silencer, can we see it? Can we see it? There we go. Knew I had one somewhere. And of course, SuperPro poly bushes fitted. So yeah, and the Eibach comfort suspension. All wheel alignment done as well, obviously. The toe settings. Interestingly, this one had nearly 2 degrees of toe in. Yeah, and that didn't come from just fitting suspension, new suspension, did it? So no doubt that the owner's going to notice the toe settings are feeling a lot better. Car feel a lot more neutral, a lot more normal as well. So right, I don't think we're going to have much problems with the fan today with cooling. It is probably about 5 degrees outside. So yeah, right, Eibach ultimate intercooler in the front there. Doing a lovely job. We run one of those intercoolers on our 320 horsepower Td5. Yep, you heard me right, 320 horsepower Td5 and 740 Newton meters is the most that we've ever seen from it. Let's warm this up and do a few runs. Quite a nice steering wheel on this one. And 120,000 miles as well. As always, using the Eibach power flash as well for logging data. Yeah, data is king, isn't it? Right, let me warm this up. And we're looking at 196 horsepower and 459 Newton meters. I can see a slight wobble on the losses there on the drag. I'll just correct that, see what see if that changes anything. No effect to the overall power figure, but it's always important to use the drag wizard when you think that it's needed. So yeah, we can see that car kind of gets to 3,000 RPM and then doesn't really make any more power after that. So looking at the engine data on the power flash, everything did look fine. So I wonder if it just wants a little bit more mapping, a little bit more fueling. Otherwise, a pretty strong result. Right, so we do have another revision to the mapping going on, and the reason why is that we're either running out of fuel with a bad set of injectors or a set of injectors that just simply won't flow anymore. And yeah, we're looking for around sort of 210 horsepower. So the file that we've popped on it with a fuel IQ would generally make about sort of 215 at best horsepower. But this one's simply not doing it. So what's the issue? So we're going to put another file on it. That's just going on there right now. And we'll see how it responds. So it's just at the top of the rev range. That's all it is we're looking for, just to improve that. Right, so that's a revision to the mapping. Flash to the ECU. And like I say, our goal is just to try and improve things from sort of 3,200 right the way up to sort of 4,000 RPM, if we can. Now the big if is if the injectors can deliver any more for us. A little dubious as to whether they can or not, but in trying this we will find out. Right, so let's have a go then, let's see what we can do. Can we find a bit more at the top of the rev range? Let's find out. That's a good gain. Oh, and as you can see from where the camera is right now, you can't see the tailpipe, but you would know if that was smoking. That was clean as a whistle. And yep, just wait for the number to come in. So 204. That is more like it. So I think we are working with a pretty tired set of injectors. But that said, that is the graph looks so much better. I'm just going to save that, complete, and what I'll do is I've got an overlay of the graphs. I'm just going to jump out the car and grab the camera and show you. I'll turn the fan off so you can hear me talking as well outside of the vehicle. I'll just leave this running for a moment so we don't, so we avoid a hot stop of the engine. We don't want to be doing that, do we? Turning the engine off with hot oil in the turbo will allow it time to cool. So. Right, so you can actually see the result there, power and torque at the top. So we're chasing horsepower and we've got kind of almost where we need to be. But as a result in gaining that horsepower, I've gained some torque as well, so it's going to feel stronger at the top. So pretty good curves, 460 Newton meters. Well, pretty much on the money there, a little bit more than what we sell these turbos out at. So 450 is really the kind of the minimum with them. Providing vehicle and fuel system can deliver. I do think we are working maybe with at 120,000 miles, normally we don't have this issue where we request a lot of fuel and it refuses to be delivered, but it's so close to where it could be, should we call it perfect. But really good result, I guess, really in the long run with the torque, 460. Bear in mind that these make 300, if you've got a good one, 300 Newton meters standard. So are you driving around in a standard Defender with 300 Newton meters, and by the time you put bigger wheels and tyres and bolted some accessories on it, you've slowed it down. So this has got a disco final drive on it as well, so the gearing feels a bit taller. Some owners like the taller final drive to reduce the revs down a little bit on motorways or whatever. I am a big fan of a 90 being full on 90. Yeah, great for the power, and yeah, I like the suspension kits that we do, but the gear ratio, the final drive, I like the stock kit. I like them to buzz straight through the gears from first all the way through fifth. So yeah, just showing the graphs again once more time. I've just removed the background there, so it's just a bit easier to digest what is going on there. So yeah, on the grand scheme of things, some pretty good curves, but you can see where the engine is just struggling to produce more power. Not going to be the engine, it's going to be the fuel system. And when I say that, it's going to be the injectors. I know it is. If we dropped in a brand new set of injectors in this, I think you'd see around sort of, with the mapping that's on there, about 220 horsepower and probably around the 500 Newton meters mark. So yeah, brand new injectors. Can you get them? I know you can get recon ones, but they avoid them. Avoid them. I want to do a video showing what brand new injectors will do in a high mileage vehicle, let's say 200,000 miles. A set of, I don't know if I say the word, you can bleep it out. I guess if we decide want to have the name Britpart injectors, yeah, so reconditioned injectors, they are really, really bad, really bad. You might put them in a standard vehicle, you might have a farm vehicle that you're not tuning, but the moment you go tuning, with a set of aftermarket refurbished injectors, not very good. Right, and just for fun, because we have seen some absolutely filthy 200 horsepower cars. I'm going to do a run. I'm going to do a dyno run. And we can watch that exhaust right here. And there's enough gap so you can see smoke. I'd imagine there'll be a tiny little bit. We'll see. Let's have a go, just for fun. Right, so we've got enough coolant temperature in the car. Happy with that. The air intake temperature is a little bit high because we've been stood and heat soak has happened, so but we'll just go with it. We'll go with it anyway. Not chasing any power figures right now, we're just trying to show what's the exhaust like. So here we go. Full throttle. Wait for the vehicle to stop. It's all looking good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump out. I'm going to show the dyno screen as well, just to show what power that just made. And yeah, here we go. Right,
Right, so we're at that part now in the video where what's it like to drive. So obviously this has got the Alive tuning suspension kit on it. Yeah, so that's our springs, our dampers, custom made to our specifications. Why? Well, it's to make the Defender ride nicer, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what it does. We're also going to be going for a road test, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the power, how it's delivered, and why a GTB450 might be for you. So without further ado, let's go for a little run. Right then, yes, this GTB450 Turbo. What's it about? Well, it's a VNT Turbo, and if you didn't know, we don't run them typically as a pneumatic turbo. We use some boost control there, so a small little electronic component that allows us to target a boost pressure, and what that does for the turbo is it allows the vanes on the turbo to work better than we've ever seen before. So as a result, what you do get is a turbo that responds very, very quickly. It can work as a small turbo at the bottom end of the rev range, just like that. But it can make excess of 200 horsepower with ease, like a big turbo. So the response from the turbo is very, very quick. It's something that you might be wishing you had, should you have stock Td5 turbo. That throttle response, like I say, that can be gained with one of these GTB turbos, and I think, well, no, I know the GTB450 is our biggest seller. It's the turbo that sort of suits pretty much all applications, really. Are you towing? Are you using the vehicle as a daily? Are you commuting in the vehicle as well? You know, long mileage. Is it a farm vehicle? So it doesn't make that much power that everything on the vehicle's under a lot of strain, but it definitely does make the Defender a lot nicer to live with its power and its ability to deliver. So yes, right, so a couple of little bends here, and what is actually quite a bumpy road. However, with the comfort suspension fitted to this vehicle, it's a lot nicer to live with. Our suspension is a lot softer than what Land Rover made, definitely a lot softer, so more forgiving on you should you do long journeys or live in rural areas where the roads aren't very nice. So that could be for you too. So we'll just give this a little tickle now. And yeah, before we end up doing too much speed, that's quite a thing. It does go very well. And of course we're going up a large hill now, and I'm using not even a quarter of throttle, and it's gently accelerating as well at a quarter throttle or thereabouts. So yeah, really, really responsive, loads of power. And interesting one with the exhaust. This system, we don't always fit this system. It's not our most popular system. Reason being, it has an extra silencer at the back. We showed that earlier on in the video. So to have a Td5 with good strong power but really, really quiet exhaust, if that's for you, then well, this is ideal then, really, isn't it? So give it another one up here. Not be too hard on the vehicle. So we're in third at the moment. 20 miles an hour, so go full throttle now. And that's 60 miles an hour. Just like that.
Yeah, that was pretty clean, eh? Pretty clean from the exhaust. Virtually zero smoke. I think there was zero smoke. Did we zoom right in and show you? Yeah. Anyway, let's shut up about that, because enough about that. Yeah, this one's gone pretty good. I'm happy with the result. I mean, it'd be nice to see what we're arguing over. 6, 7 horsepower. 560 newton meters of torque. I don't think you're going to be bothered. Most people drive these Defenders around sort of 2,000 to 3,000 RPM. That's where the mid-range is. That's where the meat of the torque is as well. So that does bring us to the end of the video. Yes, it does, of course. And yeah, is it Christmas time? Are you watching this Christmas time? Are you watching this? Is it summer? Is this a 3-year-old video? Yeah. Well, anyway, if this video comes out sort of Christmas time, season's greetings to you all. Hopefully we've got some very special videos to put out this winter holiday for you. One from myself as well. I went on a holiday in early October, and hopefully that video comes out real soon. That was something that I really enjoyed. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.